fill your boots. We're all fruit on Tootsie Trade. Tootsie Trade.
I'm Anthony Carson. I run on delusion and good lighting.
I'm Sean McKee and I'm coming to the cottage.
I'm Gordon. Stop. I'm Gordon Crawford. I'm not an oldie. I'm a goldie. And we are Tootsie Trade.
What is the crack, girls?
Hello.
Oh my God, what a way.
Hello, lads.
Oh, well, you're sitting in your Adidas
This
sportswear.
Adidas t-shirt is
Your
making
cosplaying
me
as
so
a smack.
Your highlighter
Hello,
orange.
lads. Sitting drinking a vodka Diet Coke. Like, do you know what I mean?
With no straw with that as bitch, to
I
be
know,
fair.
don't start me now. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
How are
Busy.
you? Well,
The
other than
New Year's kicked in.
Well, Gordon's clearly been at the gym.
This is my first day back at the gym, and when I tell you I done the least but made the most out of it.
And you let everyone know in that
Oh,
colour.
I did. I bought new trainers for the gym. The cheek of me haven't been a month. I was like, yeah.
Treat
I
yourself,
can't
sure.
believe you came in here with a fucking reveal on.
Well,
He
I think
made
what
us
was-
believe he was coming dressed one way and then popped down there and wow!
30 seconds before recording. We're still in
I
shop.
think the thing was it was a fucking thing with rainbow colours on it, so it was really leading you down the wrong alley.
You were.
As a gay man always do. But yes, so first day back at the gym today, and it was tough, but I actually felt better for doing it.
That's it. You'll sleep better and all the night.
Oh, I had to sleep today after lunch. I'm shattered. You know when you have that sleep and you feel dead shaky, you feel like your ma's going to come in and waken you. And I'm like, I'm 43 years of age, I live on my own. I'm good. So just stuttered about for a bit. Like
I
a mad
still
bastard.
shout at Chris about naps. He's like, it's 4:30, you can't go sleep now. It's too late in the day. You'll ruin your night's sleep. And he's like, you're not my man. I can sleep when I want. All the
Fuck
time.
up and give me a break, would you?
Yeah.
Well, at
People go
least you
sleep at
made
any
it to
time.
the fucking gym. I haven't made it. We're on the 12th today, are we?
You're busy, but you're busy. You are.
Busy and fat.
You're not. I'm sure you're lovable no matter what way you are.
Tell me more. Go on, tell me more.
Look at us being positive today. What's wrong with that?
It's not your body, it's your attitude that's the
Well,
problem.
they've seen me come in and have almost on the teetering edge of a panic attack, so they're being nice to me tonight.
I
Yeah.
know, but it
Bringing you
is.
down.
I think everybody's. Well, you were like that last week.
Yeah,
too, like
yeah.
getting back into the swing of things, and it's the idea that one day you're meant to just readjust your whole thought process. Takes time.
I needed all of last week.
I'm 43 and I haven't adjusted my party girl lifestyle choices. So
They're just the way I
any of
live.
us have.
yeah, it's part of my personality.
So here, winter, it's obviously peak time for TV.
Yes.
So can we talk about TV?
Stop
What
it.
are we watching? Because
Traitors.
I'm watching something. Well,
Traitors.
Yes,
Traitors,
Talk about
I'm
Traitors first.
obsessed with, and then I watched Runaway with Jimmy Nesbitt.
I've heard a couple people talk about that.
Sensational.
It's I
Harlan
forget-
Cohen, is
Yes,
that?
that's the
Yeah.
name of the writer. I
Cohen,
can
Harlan
remember.
Cohen, yeah.
But I'd watched a couple of his things.
Yeah.
Now, it did feel a wee bit towards the end that, oh right, we'll tie up the plot really here in this last episode.
Yeah.
And not in the best way, but it was very good overall.
Do you not think the last episode was so many twists and turns? I
Yeah.
felt like it was like another one, another. I didn't. I thought it was being
Yeah.
black and blue.
Yeah.
I didn't know what way to look.
It was, no, I don't want to say what it was because I don't want to do any spoilers, but it was just a bit
They
like,
all
oh,
die.
So that's what happened, right? And it's actually one of those things as well. It tells you what happened because it's the name of the fucking show.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was staring right in front of you. Yes, Traitors.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I'm like, how can they make this better? And this series somehow has just got me gripped. And they've got NI contestants and they're doing fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
They're like main characters.
I
which
know,
is really
and
good.
Claudia Winkham will put her hair in a ponytail for a change. I
love
seen her.
that's where you went
I
to.
seen her neck, and I was like, "Oh!" I was like, "What happened?"
Her outfits, to be fair, are and our camp, our level of camp is outrageous.
I know, but it's like camp, but slightly understated too.
Yeah.
I think it's how she wears them. She wears them ironically. I
Yeah.
think is the thing.
And last week in Japan, for God's sake, have a biscuit. so random. Just throws a line in. It's
you
just
can
so
definitely
dry,
see
it's
that
great.
they're picking tropes of types of people. You know, there's
Yeah.
always a gay, a sassy older lady, like
Yeah.
you know, a
Yeah.
bit of all of that.
And they've doubled
But it
down on
works.
those as well, and like the
Yeah.
good-looking fellas and
Yeah.
all. Like, yeah, they've really like doubled into all.
Also, you
the,
think they're good looking?
there's a couple,
Name
couple that
him.
have distracted me.
Name
Well,
him.
no, they're like conventionally like good-looking. They're not necessarily my type.
The
But yeah,
chaos.
Stephen is
Backing out.
Stephen's cute. Ross was hot, but he's
Here
not
he
that
is dressed immaculately.
one. His style is fab. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
sensational. Not
That
my cup of
denim
tea,
coat he
but
had for- yeah, gorgeous.
beautiful.
The chaos
I
of
love Ross.
Fiona.
Ross is a bit of me.
who?
The chaos of
Oh.
Fiona being the secretary.
I
Wow.
want to be her
Wow.
when I grow up.
I know.
She was so unbothered. She was just loving
I
her.
didn't like how she played it though. I didn't like.
But she, even right till then, she didn't care.
Even on
She was just happy to be there.
I didn't think it was a good way to play it, but it was fucking good TV.
Oh, that bit when them two were staring each other time was brilliant. Sorry for anybody who hasn't watched it. I'm still catching up. We're spoiling everything.
It is iconic. You just need to get on it. Like, I don't think that they can make it better.
No.
I feel like we should apply.
Don't put that out there because
I have applied once or twice before. And
Okay.
that's like, it's triggering because your audition tape for Drag Race is 3 months, 40,000 costumes, and it costs you a fortune and a GCSE to do it. And this is 1 minute, and I was like, is that all I have to do? Like, you know, like,
You're like, hard to get more in.
and you haven't got on either.
yeah, I know. I think for the first one, I actually spoke too fast. I'm like, we can't understand him because we're trying to fit it all into 1 minute.
Yeah, in the 1 minute. And
Is
sometimes less is more, I think, for those things.
Yeah.
it just like a tell us a little bit about yourself?
I think that you have to fill in a bit of a form, but then they ask you, what would you rather, like, tell us your name, what you do for a living, would you rather be a faithful or traitor, why, and what other facts do you have that would be applied for the show, and all of that in a minute.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Did you say traitor?
No, I said faithful. I think I would be a better faithful turn traitor rather than an initial traitor.
I think everyone wants that. Everyone
Yeah.
wants that gig.
Yeah.
So people like you at the start, and then they.
Well, it's a good cover up because you've built the trust up.
Yeah. People
Or
that just
like
assume that,
truthfully. So by that stage,
Yeah.
you can just maintain it and you've figured out straight away.
But
you know?
then also a lot of people, their behaviour changes because of the stress as well, and then
Aye.
people notice that change are actually easy to get down.
I think if I was on it, the only way, if I became a traitor, it would be Alan Carr narrative, where I'm not obviously a traitor, but get away
People
with it
just can't
because I'm
believe it.
just using
I would be a nervous wreck. I would be.
My hands are sweating. I need a Panadol just to thinking about
No,
this.
I'm actually like, imagine.
I would be so clueless. I would
No,
literally
too
be
much.
like, there's no point me even. I would go into that show and I couldn't have any gameplay
Yeah.
because I would give
Yeah.
myself up so quick.
Just wing it.
Like the even users thinking about, I would go this way, and then I would just have to fucking go in and wing it because if not,
yeah.
I
And
would
there's maybe
overthink it.
something in that too, though, because the game's constantly changing. They're always throwing wide balls, do you know,
Yeah,
like
there's-
curveballs or
yeah.
whatever.
Like that secret trader thing.
Yeah.
and-
And it's like learning to adapt in it, do
Yeah.
you know? But
yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah.
chaos.
So another thing as well, because we'll have to talk about it. Everyone's
Right.
talking about it. It's not available in the UK. Hated Rivalry.
yeah.
Stop.
Me. I watched it in one sitting, like 6 episodes in one day. Oh my god.
I
What a
started
show.
the first episode and haven't watched the
It's
rest.
good. It's kind of so
How?
bad. It's good because
How did you stop?
When you have a boyfriend who takes an ADHD fucking split, I was like, I'm not going to enjoy this. I want to sit and take it all in.
That
you know?
is the worst form of edging I've ever heard in my
yeah,
life.
it
Yeah.
literally was.
Get rid of
yeah.
him.
And
Get
apparently
rid
this is
of
like
him.
Straight women are like obsessed with this. Apparently, it's like huge
Well,
following.
how would
Like-
they not? There's so many straight women I know that watch gay porn.
Okay.
I've heard that too.
No, there is because like it's.
I mean, not from
not
my
the-
ma, but I mean from other people.
You know what
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean? You don't see it.
Yeah.
Like it's
I would
straight.
need
It's
that
like
explained
straight
to me.
men watching like that, like glorified lesbian porn of like two blondes
yeah,
with
what
big
they,
tits.
yeah, what they call
You know
what they call lesbian porn. But yes, I did love the show, but I had one gripe about it.
what?
All these gorgeous men and they're all having sex with each
You
other.
would have a fucking grape. How can you have a grape
you'll
over
know what I
two
mean in a
sexy
minute.
men getting their kid off and writing each other as a gay man? What grape could you have?
Because
Was it
they
not
were
big
all
enough?
Running, kinda.
There you
They were
go.
all run about in their underwear and they were flat. Where were the bulges? Where were the cocks and the dicks? Why have they all got them tucked or flat or whatever? Like, if you're going to make a fucking show for gay men, give us the cocks and the dicks.
Not everything's bigger in
Where-
America, apparently.
I was like, what is this? Is not realistic depictions here. You can tell a woman has written this for women because the actual bit that we care about is fucking
Yeah.
gone.
No,
But it was very good and the sex scenes were very good, I have to say.
very good.
And the storylines are.
I keep feeling like
Are they actually showing anything on it?
I mean,
There's
they're
enough.
They're not like.
Now, remember, I'm
Horrific.
a child of the late 90s.
I mean, for
So-
you, it's.
Queer as folk rim sing, literally.
It's
in
not.
it all.
No, yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of
It
heads.
is.
and
It's actually.
stuff.
It's and you see a lot. You don't see full frontal.
No, well,
But
clearly not.
You get everything.
They're like Ken dolls, for fuck's sake. They've everything else, but
You get everything but that.
yeah,
So
Okay.
it
Well,
is
I'm
hot.
going to watch it.
it's a great
anyway.
show. Great
And
show.
the storyline is actually quite good. It's quite crippin'.
Yeah, and there's actually been a lot of talk about it in like ice hockey podcasts that talk about it in terms of.
It's like Pornhub. Do you know when you go down to the bottom and you're looking for storylines?
That's why I'm laughing, because
It's
you
that.
two are talking about it like it's porn, but
Like
it's
a
actually a TV
serious
show.
topic.
You're like,
It is.
it's like porn, but with a script. I love
well,
it.
that's my favorite kind of porn.
It
So
is that. It is
I need a storyline, so.
Oh my god, what's your favorite type?
Gag. Oh, I'm not getting into that. God. We're getting right.
You know I love
We'll
being
do a sex
messy.
episode at some point.
You're already getting
Not
flustered.
today. I'm thinking about them sex scenes again.
Stop it. So we have a guest this
Yes.
week.
Yes, you may have
Whoa.
noticed our fourth mic
Yes.
is up.
Will we bring them on?
Yes,
Yes,
go
let's
for
do
it.
it.
So today on the Tootsie Trade podcast, we're joined by the incredible Emer Maguire, comedian, broadcaster, and science communicator. From sold-out shows across the UK and Ireland to award-winning BBC radio work and powerful TEDx talks, Emer brings intelligence, humour, and serious star quality to everything she does. We're so excited to have her here with us. Please welcome Emer Maguire.
Welcome. Come on in.
What an
is the
intro,
crack?
Anthony.
I know.
Good love. How's you? Get closer, get yourself settled.
Yes, get yourself
Good.
settled.
Yeah.
Okay.
So lovely to have you on the pod.
Thanks very much for having me.
Yeah, we were said it briefly about it, but I think we'll tell everybody. I met you briefly before, and it was a very grand location because it was on the stairs at City Hall. What a place to bump into somebody, right?
Absolutely.
But what was that? Was it the Pride Awards or something?
It might have been the Pride Awards.
Were
might
you
have been
performing
Mickey's
later?
inauguration.
Nicky's inauguration, I think
Yeah,
it was.
maybe
you're
the
right.
mayor's
Yeah.
inaugurational
Yeah.
dinner.
Yes.
I maybe met you at that.
That's what it was exactly. Because I was doing drag at it. Obviously, I started at the beginning of it all, and you had performed in it as well. Done a wee set. Yeah,
The recap was great.
it was great.
That was a good night.
I know it was a good that night was a good night to be like in behind the scenes of it, like
Yeah.
because especially because Mickey opened the floor for the community to come in, where that usually would have been the toffee kind of
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Oh
mean?
my god, I've done loads of things in City Hall, and that is the most colourful thing that I've been at. It was the coolest thing. I was sending videos to everyone being like, look what's actually happening in City
I
Hall right
know,
now. How
I
cool
know.
is this?
Yeah,
So that was
it's
great.
fab.
I've also seen you in drag loads of times.
Right. Okay.
On nights out and stuff, and whenever I came in today I was like, who's that fella? I didn't recognise you because obviously you look a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's
Who's
a
that
lot
snick
of
in the
makeup.
Adidas?
It's a lot of
It's a lot of
makeup.
makeup.
Yeah. So here, how did you start with all? Like, were you always a performer when you were younger, or like where did?
Jesus, no.
No.
No, my God, I was allergic to it. I was very, very shy. I was really shy.
Oh.
So I was always a musician. So always kind of played piano, wrote songs, all that kind of thing. I kind of did that as a hobby from I was very young, maybe about 5. I was writing songs and stuff.
Oh, bit of an overachiever there.
Wow.
No, but I'm
five?
older, that was kind of how I would have communicated and stuff like that, because I wasn't really that social and stuff, so I would just write songs instead. And it's kind of a bit of a solitary activity. So I did that, but always wanted to be a writer or be a songwriter, never to perform, because I didn't have the confidence for that. So I started the writing side of things very young, but I didn't start performing until I was older. I would have been in bands and stuff whenever I was a teenager.
Right.
Nothing too serious, and then I fell into comedy completely. If you had said to me when I was a kid, you're going to be a comedian, I would have been like, absolutely not. No thanks.
I know, because it's really one of the hardest jobs to do, to stand up on stage. Like, I've seen certain comedian shows, and it puts it like a flutter in my tummy, even though I do it as part of my job. But it's like when the expectation of stand up in front of a room, go make us laugh, especially over here.
Oh my
You know
God.
what I mean?
It's such a
There's
strong
to be
thing, yeah.
brutal
Yeah.
about it.
The audience
So
is
that's
here,
a real
yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
worst professions you could do for somebody that didn't want to be,
Yeah.
a performer.
Yeah, and I totally fell into it. Like, I didn't want to do it. I never considered it as a career. I was a speech and language therapist. Like, I had a real job, and I was studying to go on and do medicine. Like, this was not for me, and I fell into it. I actually, when I was at Queen's at the medical school studying anatomy, because I was going to do that, then do medicine, try and be some kind of doctor, and I was doing that, and my communication was always a big thing that I was paranoid about, that it wasn't good enough and stuff like that. And when I'd done speech and language therapy before, I remember one of my supervisors saying to me once, like, you should go into research because you don't have very good interpersonal skills. So I was I was like, neither do you.
Read her.
I was
Drag them.
I was like, right, I need to improve these communication skills if I'm going to be a doctor. And I saw this thing on Twitter, and it was like a communication competition, and it said you can do it if you're studying like a master's level science. You can do it. So I thought, right, well, I'm eligible, and you got to write a script, and you had to just do a 3-minute talk, and if you did that, they would give you free communication courses. And I was like, great. So I did it, got the free communication course. Didn't realize it was this big international competition.
Oh my god.
Like I'd never even heard of. So like I went, and the Belfast one was in the black box, and I did it, and it was me, and it was like a consultant for kids with cancer from the Royal. It was like, you know, all these contestants talking about science. Somebody from there was people all over the place, like a lecturer from Queen's, she was talking about quantum physics. I got up and talked about the science that happens whenever you fancy somebody. Like that's what I talked about, and I was like, I really misjudged this, like. And then I won it, and I did not know. I thought like, oh, this is great, like maybe that my communication will be better now, and like I told jokes and all as part of mine, just because that's kind of my personality. And then they were like, right, your prize is you get to go and now represent Northern Ireland in the UK final. And I was like, what?
What have I signed up for?
That's not a prize.
And you beat all those other professionals.
Yeah.
That is mad.
And like they were all older, and they were all men, and I was like just
you.
this idiot who was
Okay.
like, can I have a free communication course? And then I
You were
went,
saying, I feel like I've overcommitted.
and I was like, I didn't quite realise. There's a good photo of me on stage where they're like, you're the winner and you have to go to London, and like I'm feeling my pulse, 'cause I was like, there's no way. And my ma had come up with her best friend from Strabane, and I was like, I'm not doing it. And my mum was like, we've paid for the bus up from Strabane, so you absolutely are.
You're going.
Get your money's worth.
So I did that, and then I went to the UK final. But because I was doing that, I had to go away for a weekend's communication training with all the people who were representing everywhere else in the UK. Like, there was someone representing Oxford, Cambridge, like someone representing Scotland. I was representing Northern Ireland. Me, a total idiot.
You had
And
a whole
this
country, not a region.
Yeah. Oh my
and
god.
I was like, God, this is terrible. And then I did the UK final. It was in like a theatre in London. And I thought, I may just go with it now. It was live stream. People at home were watching it on TV. Like BBC here was following me because they were like, there's somebody Northern Irish in this competition. It's unbelievable.
God.
And then I won it. And then there was like world semi-finals, and I won my world semi-finals.
Stop it.
That's really
I was
spiraled.
about 2 weeks into my master. I was not qualified at all. And then there was a world final. Didn't win it, but did really well. And off the back of that, people started asking me to do talks and do like TEDx talks and things, and I was doing them, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make them like a bit of crack, because like I'd be bored listening. So then I started like singing wee funny songs about science, and then somebody one day was like, here, do you want to do a comedy gig like with that science stuff you talk about? And I was like, no, I couldn't do that. And then they were like, we'll pay you. And I was like, actually, do you know what? I'll give it a wee go.
I can.
And that was it. And I just fell into
Isn't
it.
that's
That
such a
is-
fab story.
It was such
Yeah.
serendipity, and I never even knew it was a real career, but obviously it is. And then I
Yeah.
packed in the speech therapy.
But you know, like, it's such a turnaround. Like, that would make
Oh my
such
God.
a good movie.
Yeah,
Because
it's
for
true.
somebody that started, and the only reason you were doing it was you were trying to get better at it, and you had the skill set all the time.
Yeah.
You just didn't know
I remember
it.
the first talk that I did, like before I did that one in Belfast, I'd written a script, and writing has always been my skill much more than verbal. And I remember writing it, and I did it for my partner at the time, and I was like, I need you to give me honest feedback. So I did it, and I was like, right. And she was like, that is a fantastic script. And I was like, great. And she's like, your presentation is horrific. It's really bad. I was like, okay. And she was like, you're so robotic, you're so unnatural. So she literally,
She doubled down.
She
I know,
ripped
I
you
know.
apart.
we're no longer together, unrelated to that. No, she was, but it was really helpful because I didn't know those and I have a diagnosis of autism, so I'm not very, I was very critical of my communication, but I never really understood how to make my communication more like other people, so I needed a bit of help with that.
In what way does your autism show up for you?
Probably depends who you ask. So for me, it's probably the diagnosis of autism and OCD, which usually come hand in hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you have one or the other, you're 4 times more likely to be diagnosed with the other. If you were born female. So it's a very big crossover with those two things. So for me, the OCD would affect me a lot more. And I've had it since primary school, and you know I'm on medication for it, have a diagnosis for things like that. I got diagnosed with autism later than the OCD. But for me with the autism, it's mostly I would have lots of sensory issues, or whenever I was younger, when I was a kid, I would have had something called pica, which is like a condition where you eat non-food items. Like I would have eaten cigarette butts, or I would have eaten like wallpaper off the walls, or eaten bunk beds.
Oh, there was always the child in school that like the paste, or
yes.
yeah.
So they were probably it's a quarter of autistic kids have it, and like 90% of autistic kids have some kind of disordered eating.
So it would have been the texture is attractive to them or something.
It's the texture. People used to think it was because you were missing something in your diet, and maybe you are if you're autistic, because there's a lot of food you don't eat. Your diet's very, very restricted. But
it's almost like a coping mechanism too, though. Like just chewing something,
it's sensory. It's like a sensory seeking behavior. You're seeking some kind of input. So for me, it's mostly sensory, or maybe noises and things like that. And the other things would be social. You know, I really struggled making friends and things growing up, or I would need a lot of support with things that involve like executive functioning. So executive functioning is like your ability to organize and plan and things like that, you know. So like I can't really cook, or you know, I wouldn't be able to go shopping by myself and get what I needed, all that kind of thing. But then I think because of autism, there's lots of things that I'm
100%
very good at that I probably wouldn't be if I wasn't autistic. Like I've always been able to play music. I've always been kind of miles ahead of people the same age as me in terms of music and writing and that kind of thing, you know.
Extremely intelligent as
well.
You excel in that. You're great. Yeah, you know, my mum, I was
like 100%. I love that about autism though. Like,
it really is. You
can see autistic kids in their creative ventures are just like miles.
So it's so common to be creative. That's a real strength that you'd have, and especially
I'd say there seems to be creative or numbers actually as well.
So those are like the two presentations of autism. So the one that people more know about is the more male version, but it's you don't have to be male to have it. It's just a type, and it's usually people who are more analytical and logistical, maybe good at maths, maybe the more stereotype version people are used to, maybe with behavioural problems, maybe that kind of thing. Whereas girls or people who are non-binary, who were born female, whatever, the female presentation or the masked presentation, which boys can have too, it just depends on your personality. That is, the symptoms of that are you've more sensory issues, you've more mental health issues, but other symptoms are great, like you have a higher than average IQ is literally a symptom. You're more likely to be highly creative, do you know? So there are, like, whenever I worked in speech therapy, we called it a spiky profile. So people who are typical usually are, you're as good as cooking as you are at driving, you're as good at sports as you are, but if you're autistic you might be a concert pianist but you can't tie your laces, do you know? So it's that spiky profile, which is those are the things that are difficult for me. I've always been able to write music and hear something and play it, but I still can't tie my laces, do you know? So it is a really spiky profile, but it's interesting, and that's why I've Dougal that you'd wanted to be.
I'm raging he's not here. I'm not going to hold it against you, but
I know
I wish he was here
at the moment.
I would have loved him just to be sitting here so I could just,
I know. I'll come again and I'll bring him next time.
Please do.
I'll tell you where he is. He's lying on the sofa after having his dinner.
He's
having
what a life.
He's having his downtime. He's having a bit of chill time.
Is he getting a break from you?
He was with me. Yeah, he needs a break from me. He's like a full-time carer. He's so good.
You always say about the sigh of a dog, like when they lie on like the big sigh they let on the sofa, like they've been out all day paying the rent and working for the bills. Dougal actually does. That's a deserved sigh.
Dougal's technically a working dog, so he's like, oh, thank God, she's away.
Finally a rest.
He gets a vodka and he's turning on Netflix. He's like, thank Christ she's away, you know. But no, he's very good. So he's been trained as an autism assistance dog.
Amazing.
To help me with things. You know, he's been trained to do things like sensory therapy and stuff. He's such a big dog. So he's been trained to do stuff like that, but he's also been trained to do things like help me take medication when it's medication time. And there's other dogs in our training group that are being trained to do things like load the dishwasher. Unload the washing machine, open the fridge.
Can I buy one?
Like, it's unbelievable.
My dog just licks
food
off.
That is insane.
I know. My Stephen to that.
My dog just goes and licks the food off the plates in the dishwasher. It's about as much as he'll do. That's incredible.
Oh my God. Because the people in the training group that Dougal's in, there's different disabilities. So obviously he's been trained to be an autism assistance dog, but there's people in wheelchairs, there's maybe people with heart conditions, diabetics, whatever. And oh my God, see some of the things the dogs have been trained to do.
It's insane.
Like, find your house keys by identifying the scent of it. So if you say, right, Archie, go and find my house keys. The dog just goes up, finds them according to the smell, or gets you your phone, opens the door for you. I really want Dougal to
My
learn how to do
mind
the washing
is
machine, but
Amazing.
I
Yeah.
don't know that he would be.
Well, of social media content, you're getting millions of views.
On that alone, I know.
It is. It's unbelievable the
Yeah.
things. So his things are more his main thing that he's working towards is medication. Alerting when it's medication time. I'm terrible taking my OCD medication, and if you don't take, people think OCD is if you're a wee bit cleaner. I mean, it's not. It's a
No, yeah.
massive
It's all
mental
different.
health condition. But if you don't take your medication, you can become really unwell very, very quickly if you have severe OCD. So his main job is working towards being able to identify when it's medication time and encouraging you to take it. Because if you're autistic,
it
you have a very
timed?
poor memory.
Is it a
Yeah.
timed every day? I'd have
Yeah.
to take it
Yeah.
You know,
specifically.
it's
And
incredible.
I often don't take it. And I have Alexis telling me all over the house to take it. My mum was ringing me
Still.
constantly, have you taken your medication? Whereas Dougal is going to be trained to actually alert you and pull
Pull-
you
pull
and
you.
take,
I tell you.
Because a lot of autistic people can't manage their own medication because you can have organisational difficulties and
Yeah,
memory
yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
So, so he's
Yeah.
great. But I should have brought him.
What
I
age
know.
is he?
So he's 4 or 5. He was we were talking about this earlier. He was a rescue. He was a rescue before he started his training, and not sure 100% what age he is, but I'm going to get his age tested because there's a test you can send away. Do you know where you can get their
Oh.
DNA tested?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, I didn't know this until you told me this.
Yeah.
Right.
There is what is it, ancestrypups.com.
Yeah. So he was all to me like, oh, what is Dougal a doodle? Did you?
Yeah.
Because you have a doodle.
Yeah.
But everyone's always stopping me and saying, oh, is he a doodle? Is he a labradoodle? And I'm like, no, he's a purebred poodle. He's 100% poodle. And everyone was always like, no, he's not. And I was like,
yeah.
well, he is.
It's his, it's
My
his,
dog.
it's
Did
his
you talk about
colouring.
my son?
But
Bro,
he's
Sean?
so
Yeah.
big and he's so much hair and he doesn't have a poodle cup. So I got his DNA tested. How extra is that? I got his DNA tested. I had to be swabs and all inside his cheek.
Stop.
And you send it away. It goes to a lab. There's different companies do it, but I did it with a company called Embark, which I just thought was the most wonderful name.
Fab.
Well
I thought
done.
I'm getting their kit based on the name alone.
The name, I know.
And I sent to them. 6 weeks came back. You don't tell them. You don't show a picture. You don't say I think the dog's this breed.
Uh-huh.
You don't tell them anything about
Right.
them. And they came back and they said purebred poodle, and they were able to say he has a half brother here, a half sister here. These are their names. These are their
Wow.
backgrounds. Every month I get an email to say this week we have found 3 new relatives of Dougal.
Oh,
We've found
my
this.
God.
They tell you what percentage of wolfiness they have in terms of being passed down. Dougal's is really low, and
Well, he's a poodle.
he's a poodle, but also they said his is very, very low for a poodle, but Dougal's a very timid
Yeah.
poodle. He's very anxious, so I don't think there's much wolf left for
Aye.
him.
He maybe
So,
wasn't the alpha, his ancestors. He
Yeah,
was, yeah.
absolutely. So the same company also do an age test, so I'm doing his age test.
That's
as well.
incredible.
Just
Science.
to see exactly.
Aye. So
I
you
know.
can have a
It's so
birthday
extra,
party
but
for
like
him.
if you have a dog, like
Yeah. Well, if you don't know their
if
age,
you have a
it's
dog,
a good
you're
way.
obsessed with your dog.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's-
Do you know what
I
I mean?
think gay
100%.
people in particular, like
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
LGBT community, it's fur babies.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way. I think other families are too, but I think there's something extra about us now.
Oh, totally.
That was the first question I asked when I got my dog. My dog's rescue too, and I was like, "What's his birthday?" And they're like, "What?" I was like, "When's his birthday?" So I can
I
have a
need to
birthday
know.
party for him.
So I can throw a
Yeah.
soiree.
Yeah.
He needs to have a
needs his
birthday,
pup
and I
cake.
had to wait a whole fucking year because he just had his birthday. It's raging.
May I have a belated one?
Yeah, Christmas and all. I had a wee like sleigh from all his wee like new Christmas treats in it. And I was like, "No, don't jump on it so I can get a photo first." Okay, go.
I think that's good though. It shows how much you love them.
Yeah.
I have another dog who people don't usually realize I have another dog because Dougal gets so much airtime. But I have a dog and he's 10 in March, and I've had him since a puppy. I've had him since he was 12 weeks old. And he's a wee dote. He hates everybody else, but he's a wee dote to me. And
I love
his
that.
birth, I know he's
Yeah.
oh my god, I call them. Do you know what you call your dogs really stupid nicknames? I call Dougal Handsome Prince, and I call my wee dog Prince Darkness because he is the actual devil. But I love
Is he
him.
a small dog?
Yes,
Yeah,
he's
well, they're
he's,
always a bit
he's
more
the
sassy,
he's the
aren't
size
they?
of a cat. He's white and fluffy. He bullies the life out of Dougal. And if I tell Dougal off for something, Albie will then go mad at him and snap at him as if to say, you listen to what you're told. But his birthday was St. Patrick's Day, so I changed his birthday so he would have his own day to celebrate. I was like, you're not sharing this with no saint.
Should have called him Paddy. That was be a perfect name for him. He was born in
It could have been called Paddy. Too common. He's too special.
Paddy
Paddy the Prince of Darkness doesn't
the
work.
Prince of
No.
Darkness.
No.
Paddy's
He's
too
called
joyful.
he's
a
called
name.
Albus.
Albus.
This is a
Oh,
little bit
Dumbledore.
more.
Love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And Dougal's
Very
a great
good.
name too.
Dougal's a great name.
So whenever I got Dougal, my surname's Maguire, so he's Dougal Maguire. Like
Ah,
Father
Father
Ted.
Ted.
Nice. Sensational.
But see,
I clocked
but
it
not
right
on
away.
purpose. So see, when I got him at the shelter, he was just called, when he was left and he was called Dog. He didn't have a name. He was just Dog.
Don't make me cry.
I know. I think he was like the stud on a puppy farm,
Who
and he
would give
couldn't.
away a purebred
he couldn't
poodle?
He
give
is
it
a
up.
stud.
He couldn't do. He
He
wouldn't
is
go
a
near the
stud.
females. They said so. I think
Oh,
he
you called
wasn't
you have a gay
performing.
poodle?
I have a gay poodle. We all have our crosses to bear. I think he must have been for making cockapoos or something because they're so popular.
Yeah.
Didn't get anything out of him, so he was called Dog.
There
he
was no
given
cock
up.
anyway.
There definitely was not from Dougal.
It's like fucking heated rivalry. Is he in a heated rivalry?
So he was like literally, what were we talking about? I can't remember. This is the tism.
We're talking about him being
When
called Dougal. He was just called
Oh
Dog.
yes,
name.
so he was just called Dog. So then at the shelter they were kind of workshopping like Dougie or like Doug, but like some of them were calling him Dougie, some of them were calling him Dougie, and I was like, well, which is it? So then whenever I went to get him, he's so pathetic looking and all, and he didn't. Bits of hair missing and so he was so skinny and underweight. He just looked pathetic. He came out and my mum was like, it's the ugliest dog I've ever seen. And I was like, I'll take him. And
He's mine.
my mum was like, what would be a good name? And she was like, what about that Magic Roundabout show she used to watch when she was, and I'd never seen it. And I was like, what? And she says, well, the dog in that was called Dougal.
Yeah.
What about Dougal? And I was like, that just suits him.
Yeah.
And I never thought about him being called Dougal Maguire. It never occurred to me. I was at the vet and they were like, what, you check in, you're like, I know it's Dougal. And then they were like, Dougal Maguire here, and I was like, you are actually. And now every time I say to people he's Dougal and they know my surname's Maguire, they're like, you must be a really big Father Ted fan. And I'm like, not particularly, no. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just
But
going to scrap that question.
The funny thing about it is Doug or Dougie is short for Dougal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Well.
when people, so it's so funny because there's a couple of people from the shelter that he was in have come to my shows since.
Right.
And there was a couple at the I did a show there in the Opera House in November, and there was a couple at it who had actually cared for him in the shelter. And it was so cute because they were saying like, oh, we love seeing pictures of you and Dougie and all, and I was like, it kind of still works as a nickname
Yeah,
for him,
it's
do you know?
yeah,
So I like that it's close to the name that they were trying to give him,
Yeah.
do you know, but he is a
Yeah.
big dote. He's a very big
Oh,
joke.
God.
He's so
I like it breaks me. I have to actually mute those profiles like the Instagram because I can't. Because every time I'll take that one. Can we get this one?
I want
No,
to take
it's
every dog that comes
horrible.
up.
Yeah.
It's
Just
heartbreaking.
even
Think about it.
I have threatened to do it, but like me and my partner
Do you
live
have
in
a
a
dog?
small
Yeah.
house. No.
Well, remember the one I referred you to? I was like, you need to go and see
And then
her.
we
She's
went on a
gorgeous.
trip round down the west coast, and I was seeing all signs. We were in one of the big Irish playwrights where his grave was at.
Yates, Sligo.
Yeah. And the next thing was I was walking back, and on the back it had the name on full block capitals and then the name of this dog on the tombstone in the graveyard.
Oh,
And
God.
there was another one or two.
Is
Yeah,
that a bad or a good
Crystal.
omen?
There was one called Kristen. I was like, do you want a dog?
I
the same
think
like
that's a
Mr.
bad
Cricket?
omen.
What?
The dog's name on a grave.
Well, I didn't adopt
Depends what
the
you
name,
look at,
but
man.
I would have looked at it, I was like, do not get this dog. He's going to die.
But there was other signs. But like it wouldn't be fair in our house because it's
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it the wrong way. Do you know what I mean?
You'd have to you'd have to get a very small dog. Whenever I got Albie, who is tiny, I was in a very small house. But then I only got Dougal whenever I moved to a house with a garden and stuff like that because I thought they have to have a wee bit of space.
Yeah.
For Dougal, who hates going outside, hates getting like will not go outside if there's any bit of wind or rain. He will
Oh.
refuse to go outside. He's a
Yeah, Stan's the
princess.
same. Stan, my dog, like
Stan,
Newfoundland.
Stan.
It's called
That's
Stan.
such
yeah.
a good name.
Called Stan. That was the name that he had, but he suits it. And when he's bold, I call him Stanley. I'm like, Stanley.
Aye.
Every time I see him, I call him Stanley Kubrick.
Oh.
Stanley, and
say
then I just
Stanley
give him,
Cup?
yeah, and then I give him Alfie as his surname because he needed another wee old man name, so he's
Oh,
Stanley
that's
Alfie.
cute.
Yes, so then he's built literally for being lifeguards in Canada. That's what their
Yeah.
breed do. They
What's the breed
literally
called?
Oh, yeah.
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Yeah.
And when it's raining and you try and get him outside, he just looks up at you like, no, thank you. I'm not going out there. Like, no, you have a cheek to try and put me out
They're
there. It's like,
such
you are double coated.
princesses.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
That's the same. Like poodle, I think poodles were water retrievers in France or something. And I'm like, I know. Dougal's like,
We
I'm not
ruined
going out in
them?
that
Like,
rain.
don't
It'll ruin my parent.
Another use for like shows.
You know,
They're
I
such an
have
elegant
taken him.
dog.
I've
poodle.
taken
So
him
gorgeous.
paddleboarding though.
Oh, okay.
I
Does he
brought
like
him.
the water?
I don't know that he likes it, but he likes being close to me, so
Oh,
he's
okay.
okay on the paddleboard. I held him like, now he's very, very heavy, so he's quite hard to hold like this. So I held him like this, and you know when you hold them above the water, the wee legs just automatically go. Every dog I've seen, and Dougal's just like, so I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to have to throw him in. And I did, and he started swimming, so he was fine, but he then was clambered up on the paddleboard to stay close to me, and I was so far out and all, and he was happy as Larry.
Good,
So
yeah. Oh, that's really fun.
yeah, and you get life jackets with.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
For the doggies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put a life
Really?
jacket on, because if I
That
was
is so bad. You're making me feel terrible. My dog, Archie, is petrified of the water. I mean, petrified. We have
Yeah.
a caravan up in Carnock, and I would throw their balls into the water, and he would literally run to the edge and then turn on his heel and run in the opposite direction. And I literally carried him in like that and threw him into the water until he learned how to swim. And now I feel terrible.
no, that's
No,
what,
I think
I
that's
think
a
you
good thing
should.
to do.
He was
Yeah.
fine though.
Yeah.
He swam. He didn't sink.
They've webbed things for a reason. Like
No, he started going,
Well,
but
the
he,
only-
he swam round the circle and straight out and ran
Yeah.
and huffed at me at the other end of the
Well, you
the
see, it's
furthest end of the
different
beach.
If you're paddleboarding and you go deep, if they fall, I mean, there's no way I would be able to save
Yeah,
him
they're
with
done.
the
Yeah.
size and the weight of him. Like if
Mm.
he fell in and wasn't able to swim, so they need a life jacket for that. But if
Keeps
they're
them
just running in and out, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because they won't go far enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just felt bad 'cause I threw him in.
Although some dogs are natural water dogs, like my friend has 2 big brown Labradors, and they will.
Oh, they love the
Straight
They
water.
would swim over
Yeah.
to Scotland, like.
Yeah.
and
They just keep
they would all,
going.
like-
Yeah.
They're just so happy-go-lucky. They would just do anything.
Oh, labs are.
They're lovely dogs.
Yeah. Great.
Very good.
I could talk about dogs
I
all day,
know.
but
Me
we've other
too.
things to talk
Me
about,
too.
like your fabulous show. So you mentioned
Yes.
30th Grand Opera House.
Yep.
You've got an upcoming one. Is it Waterfront? Or is it Grand Opera House again?
Yes, so I'm in the middle of doing a tour at the minute of a show called Notions. So
Yes.
it's stand up, but I do a bit of musical comedy as well. So I've done it in Bangor and the Opera House. I feel like I did it somewhere else too, but I can't remember. And then they were brilliant. They were such good. They were such
Opera
good
House
crack.
is a fab.
Oh
venue.
my god, the Opera House was amazing, and it was great because it was the biggest show that I had done to date, and it sold out really quick, like months in advance. And
Amazing.
I was so delighted, and it was such a brilliant night. I had a brilliant time. So I still have to do a few showings of that show. I'm doing Armagh, Lisburn, 4 in Derry, in the Millennium Forum. They're all
Amazing.
sold out. I've one
Class.
in Portaferry in the Portico, which is gorgeous. So it's I think it's like an old converted church or something. And the
I've
stage is
seen
in the
that.
middle, and
Yes,
it's beautiful.
Oh,
Unreal.
seen
I've never
things in
heard of that.
I've seen things in that.
so
Yeah, it's
there,
class. Yeah.
Portaferry. There's a couple of tickets left for there. And I've just put out one for Cookstown in the Burnavon. So those are that show. And then the show that I'm doing, that we just put out just before Christmas, it's a new show. It's called Perfectly Chaotic. It's in the Waterfront
Love that
in
title.
November. Thank
Amazing.
you. Well,
Insane.
I'm a bit offended because what I do is I come up with loads of titles and I send them into my family chat, and I'm like,
You've
everybody
already
everybody
lost.
vote. They're so brittle. My mum's like, don't like that, don't like that, don't like. Every single one of them was like
No.
perfectly chaotic.
Yeah.
That just describes you to a T. And I was like, thanks, guys.
Kind of
made
feel
it-
dragged, but thanks.
It made it very easy to choose. And I have a girlfriend, quite a new girlfriend,
Uh-huh.
and
Ooh.
I hadn't told her what my family said, and I gave her the list, and she was like, perfectly chaotic.
Mhm. That's the one.
I know. I actually think she gave me the idea for perfectly chaotic,
Yeah.
and I put it on the list.
Yeah.
But it was her top choice
Yeah.
out of
But
everything
isn't
as
that
well.
what humans are? Anyway, we are all perfectly
Yeah.
chaotic in our own ways.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It
And
sort
I
of
like that.
describes
So
what the
that's kind
show
of
is
what my
going to be
show.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what my shows are like. That's what
Yeah.
I'm like.
Yeah.
And what was the vibe for Notions, and what was the vibe for Perfectly Chaotic?
So Notions was basically because I knew it was going to be my biggest show that I had done. I was talking to my mum, and she was saying, right, because I'd done for 2 years in a row. I'd done Mandela Hall, and it's maybe about 500 people. And
Our Trudy's done Mandela Hall too.
I do Night of 1,000 in there. It's great.
oh,
space.
amazing,
Yeah,
brilliant!
yeah,
It is great. It is
Yeah,
brilliant
yeah,
space, and so they were like, the promoters were like, right, we'll do a bigger show, and I was like, absolutely. They suggested the Opera House, and I was like, great, and it's about 1,000, I think, capacity of the Opera House, just more. And I'd said to my mum, oh, I'm going to do a big show. It's going to be in the Opera House. And she was like, going to be doing a show in the Opera House? People are going to think you're having notions about yourself. And I was like, well, that's the name of the show sorted. And I just went with it and just called it that because I thought, do you know, here we're so dry, and it's like, you want people to do well and everything, but you're like, but don't be getting big-headed.
above
Don't be
your
getting
eye.
head. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the word Notions.
Me too. I love
it. Yeah.
So
It works in so many different scenarios.
She gets her
Oh,
food
you know
shop
what I mean?
Marxies. She has notions.
Notions.
Absolutely. And even when I was younger and all, like if you fancied somebody at at home. Like my mum and dad and all, like it would have been, do you have a wee notion of them? So I just
Right,
love, I just
okay,
love
yeah.
the word. Like it's a nice word. So it was kind of just a story of my life and just talking about different things. I talked about, you know, what it's like to be autistic. I talked about just being a kid. Just a kind of a story of my life, which is what I do at all my shows. I just tell true stories and then do a couple of songs about them. But it was great, and then perfectly chaotic. Haven't written it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be. It'll be a mix of stand up and, you know, I have videos during the shows. I have backing tracks and I do songs. I have grand piano and that I play and sing as well.
Many instruments do you play?
Piano, guitar, and I could probably play a bit of the likes of drums and bass and stuff, and I did cello whenever I was wee. But
anything else?
Do you want to leave something for the rest?
On stage it would be very much at smaller gigs it would be guitar only because it's hard to lug a piano around. But whenever I get to do a big show on my own, I try and have a piano there.
Do you
and
want to do a triangle for you? I can. I'm free.
I can do an and a.
They will try any angle.
If you need an and an a out of tune and in the
Try
wrong
beautiful
key.
backing dancers and everything.
Oh, I can give you that.
It's good if you have obviously guitar's good for kind of upbeat songs and stuff like that, but I would do a few poignant songs as well, do you know? And it's funny because at my bigger shows I would be quite open about life and about things that are difficult, things that are great, blah blah. And I've done a couple of sad songs, so some of them on piano, like there'll be people in tears, and it's weird because it's a comedy show, and I'm like, please don't ask for a refund.
I have to be honest.
Do you know what I mean?
I love that shit. You know
Me
who's?
too.
Do you know who's brilliant at that? Dolly Parton. Because Dolly Parton will have your heart
I love
broke.
Dolly Parton.
Love her.
Yeah,
And she picks up about 7 instruments, does them all throughout, and then
Even our nails.
yeah. But she will like perform a really heartbreaking song, and the next minute she'll say one line after the song, and everybody's laughing through their tears.
But I love
So
that because
good.
it's like
Brilliant.
not everything's funny. Like some things are heartbreaking, and like there was a show I did, and in that year, like I was really struggling with my OCD. I had my autism diagnosis. My partner of 11 years broke up with me. Because we broke up, I lost my house and had to move into my brother's student house in Sandy Row. Like things were rough.
Not Sandy
Row.
Row.
No.
Oh no.
Me and my gay brother.
Take my
and
phone
our
number in
cousin
case it
from
happens
Donegal.
again.
Oh my god.
So like sometimes, so I was doing a show that year, and I had a show a couple of days after I was broken up with, and like I wasn't expecting to be broken up with, so I was shook, and I had to do this show in my hometown, and one of the songs mentions my long-term love, like that's a line in the song. And I was singing it, and I'd turn around because I was crying.
Oh no!
But the audience were so nice. Do you know what I mean? So I just talk about everything and anything. And if it's sad, it might be 1 or 2 sad songs in a show of 12 songs and stand up. That's grand. That's allowed.
I think that's
People
why
like it.
I think that's why people connect with you so
Yeah.
much, because
Yeah.
you're so open, and even just this is the first time I've met you, but you seem so open and receptive to people, and it's really easy to like
I
you
think you're a
get
bitch.
to know you.
I hate you.
I think it's people over here respect honesty and bravery, and to be able to do that in a really open, vulnerable space. You've won them already almost,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
by being just totally upfront. And you obviously you're funny and you have a unique sort of queer viewpoint on the world, you know, that people, it's instantly funny, you know, to be explained. I'm sure you could tell some sad stories and it might feel hurtful, but you could tell them in a funny way too,
Oh,
you know.
definitely. And I think there's a very dry sense of humour here, and a very morbid sense of humour.
Yeah.
And
Really
I love that.
morbid.
Yeah.
I
I'm the
love
same.
that.
Yeah,
It's my
yeah.
favourite.
Right.
Like you've spoke about some difficult times that you've had there, kind of. As a queer woman in the comedy space, have you found any difficulties? Have you come up with any challenges? Like, and because you kind of, like you said, you're kind of not thrown into it, but you kind of like mistakenly opened the door and you're here.
Yeah,
It's a
definitely.
very male
Well,
space too.
it is a very male space, and I've definitely always felt different to the standard. So I've always felt that. Now, I have to say, any of the guys and things that I've worked with have been really lovely and very supportive, and there's a lot of them that I have a lot of time for and I'm good friends with. Like Paddy Raff is one of the nicest people you could ever meet. I'm good friends with Paddy.
Love
I really
Paddy,
like
it's really
him.
funny.
Tim McGarry has been very supportive of me. He's lovely, really,
that.
really nice.
Tim was in here Christmas Eve having drinks. He was full with his wife.
He is so
Had a ball.
Kelly. So I'm really good friends with her.
She is a hoot.
They are really lovely,
Yeah.
genuine people. And recently I've become friendly with Andrew Ryan, who's again very great guy, really supportive. And I mean, those are 3 straight guys who are
Yeah.
older than me.
Yeah.
And they're so and I feel with them absolutely no difference.
Yeah.
And like they're just the ones I know closely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And any of the rest of the guys have always been lovely.
Mhm.
And there doesn't feel, I feel the difference that I feel is from me and not from them.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? So I think that's kind of a nice thing.
Yeah, that's
It's
really
a
good.
fab thing.
It
Yeah.
is
It's
good.
lovely to hear.
It's also a
Yeah.
unique story because so many
Yeah.
people, especially just women in comedy, like following female
Yeah, yeah.
comics like Joan Rivers or
Mm.
Ryan.
Kathy Griffin, Catherine Ryan, they've all mentioned that they've really struggled
Yeah.
Yeah.
with in that male-dominated field. But
Yeah.
I feel like your career has really been one of a lot of positives. Like it's kind of went from strength to strength to strength to
It
strength.
definitely has. And I think now, I definitely notice when I go everywhere, it's sound men and cameramen, and all the comedians are usually men. I did a gig the other night, and there was another girl on the lineup, the brilliant Diona Doherty.
Love
Fab.
to.
But that's unusual for me to be on the lineup with another girl.
Few and far between.
Yeah, it is. So, like, I definitely noticed that, but I think it's good as well because there's a few more girls coming up, but also I feel whenever I'm up and I'm in a room and maybe it's all guys and I get up and I'm very aware, well, I'm not a guy and also I'm gay and also maybe I'm a minority in other ways, you know, I'm working class, I'm autistic, but I make that a joke on
Yeah.
stage and I will just mention it. And I'll be like, it's really, really lovely, you know, to have me here today as the token female. This is great.
Yeah.
And I think you can say that if you're confident in yourself, because
Yeah.
I would never, you know, I think you could maybe doubt yourself and think, oh, people might think I'm not as funny as the boys. I never think that because I think girls are funnier anyway. Do you know? And in the same way boys might think boys are funnier.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't feel any insecurity about that. I do, if anything, I think whenever I'm on a lineup and it's all guys, I'm like, I know I'm the one people remember because
Yeah.
I'm not the same as everybody
Yeah,
else.
You're refreshed.
I stand out and I'm different, and people always say to me that's very different, and I will always have I'm always surprised the amount of straight men come up to me and say, I wasn't sure I was going to like you because I don't usually like when girls do comedy, but you were the best of the night. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. 'cause
Thanks for the
it's-
backhanded compliment.
Yeah,
Hard
that
trade.
lovely
And I-
shit sandwich you
I
just
know,
delivered.
and I know they do mean it in a nice way.
I know,
but
I know,
it
yeah.
also like they're not expecting you to be funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's just
So-
systemic,
But
isn't
then
it? Really?
again, it's because of the
Absolutely.
part of the reason that they don't see it that often.
They don't.
If
They
it was
don't see it.
normalised no more, and it does take people like yourself and Diona and a couple of other girls
Yeah.
out there have saying to be like more representative and getting in the spaces where you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
I think that's why we're
Yeah.
bringing that
Yeah.
up in a conversation because we all understand that as
Yeah.
gay LGBTQ
Yeah.
plus, but even just for women as well, like
Mhm.
lesbians in performance spaces.
Well, we have
Yeah.
a friend,
Noticed,
Ruth,
you know?
who's a lesbian,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I have been busting her chops to do a stand-up gig for years.
Yeah.
She is so funny. She has a script and all writ. She watches this, so Ruth, take this as your moment.
Get on
We're
it, Ruth.
enablers.
But yeah, so like if you had like advice for someone like that, like another female comic,
Mhm.
because there isn't enough people, and I think a lot of
Mhm.
it is fear, and that they don't see a lot of representation. And like you said, you probably had a lot of minorities. Or what
Mm.
would you say to those people like to go into comedy?
I would honestly just say, go and try it. Go and contact a promoter at a comedy night. The likes of the Pavilion in Belfast have spots for people who are very, very new. Go and do something like that and see if it works for you. You might find if you've written a script, you might go on stage and be the best comedian that's ever been there. You might go on stage and think, I don't like this, my skills and the writing, and that's okay as well. But I think until you're on a stage in front of an audience, you don't know how good or how not good you're going to be.
Yeah.
So I would go to the likes of the Pavilion, contact the guys who run that, and I would just ask for a spot. I wouldn't ask, you know, can I do a gig in the Ulster Hall? Do you know, I wouldn't put yourself under any pressure.
Yeah.
But the small comedy clubs that have open spots, I would 100% contact them. And I always think, like, for me, when I was starting and people started asking me to do comedy gigs, I really didn't want to do them because I didn't have the confidence. And I just told myself once, what is the worst that could happen? I could be bad at this, but so what? Who's going to know? The 20 people in the room, and I can never do it again.
Yeah.
But I could also be amazing at it. So I would just say, just go and do it. Stop messing about. You know, better done than perfect. Just get something written and get out there and do it.
Yeah.
And give it a go. You'll never know. You'll always regret not trying.
100%.
I
All
agree.
the big comedians always say, you know, about cutting their teeth in the working men's clubs, the different spaces, the smaller spaces, and you know, some of the gigs. There's a lot of disparity sometimes. So sometimes they think I was fucking brilliant in that set, but it doesn't get received, and then sometimes they think they're shy, and they're most talked about set that they've done, you know. So, and it's the constant changing of material and finding out and figuring out the art form is the journey, not the goal. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, totally. And you're saying there about finding it out and figuring it out and refining your sets and stuff. You might have written a script on a page, say for a stand-up set, but until you do that in front of an audience, you won't be able to be like, God, they really didn't like that, or they cringed when I said that, or I threw in a bit that wasn't even on the page, which was the funniest bit of the night. I'll write that down. You won't know people's reaction until you do it. Do you know?
Yeah.
And what you've written could have been absolutely shit, or it could be amazing.
Aye.
But you're not going to know.
Until you do it.
So I think you should just, if you have any inkling at all to do comedy, just give it a go. Even if you are not confident, but you quietly think, I'm pretty funny, or I'm the funny one in the friend group, or I'm very quick, I would just go ahead and give it a go. The confidence and all that, stage presence and everything follows later, because I didn't have any of that when I started. I just had pure anxiety and good writing skills. That's all
you need is pure anxiety and good writing skills.
And now on stage, I am way more confident than I am off stage.
I would say you've always had funny bones, you just didn't know it.
Yeah, I think I've always known I've had the ability to be funny, because I would have been funny in places where I was extremely comfortable, like with my siblings, you know, like, and I find them very funny. We would have great crack, or if I had, you know, a couple of close friends, I always would have been the funny one, but I just wouldn't have had the confidence to be like that in front of people I didn't know, in front of other people. So I think if you are inherently funny, all the confidence and everything else can follow if you put enough time into it and enough. It's like exposure therapy going on stage.
But it's a blessing being from here too, because it is Irish storytelling really, and crack.
Yeah.
You know, like people say about drag queens being shitty over here, but it's just how we talk to each other. It's not like we had to learn that skill. We already
just
do
the
it with each
culture.
other,
Yeah.
slagging or whatever you want to call it. It's
Yeah.
drag queen shade. It's the exact same thing.
It is.
You know
I
what I mean?
actually think out of everywhere around here, England, whatever, I think we are the best storytellers by a mile. And my comedy is tell a story, do a song, tell a story, but the songs tell stories as well.
Yeah.
It's not, here's a joke that I've written and here's a very clear punchline. It's just telling stories, and the stories happen to be funny. Like the story, like you would have talked in your house growing up, you know, having the crack, taking the piss out of yourself, slagging each other. But I think that's a skill that we really have. And whenever I go and do gigs in England and stuff, I don't see the same storytelling abilities.
But Billy Connolly
You know.
was the observational comedy.
Yeah.
Humor,
And
you know, so.
That's, I think the Celtic nations are
Yeah.
more artful. There's some amazing English comedians, but it's a lot more, you know, comedy style, kind of formulaic. Here's a joke, here's a punchline. Here's a joke, here's a punchline. Whereas, like here, the likes of Billy Connolly and stuff, it's very much, here's a long, lingering story, and a lot of it is funny, but it's also a little bit intelligent, and it's witty, and you know, you're not just, here's a joke, here's a punchline. And, you know, that's the kind of comedy I like, the storytelling.
Me too.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Do you have many songs written?
Oh my God, hundreds.
You got albums do you release albums like you're recording, but like do you
I
release
actually
stuff?
have an album on Spotify,
Right.
and it's a live album from a show I did in the Ulster Hall. So it's maybe about 12 songs recorded live. But I'm going to do a studio album of some of the more popular songs that I have. Because people are constantly...
Yes, I would like a recorded version of Jean's Heels in a nice sweet top.
Oh my God, see that's not...
Sean said this last night. Can we
I was
please
like,
learn
please, can we
this?
do this dance for a gig?
So I need to put that on because I have like a a live recorded version of it on Spotify, but I need to get a studio version because it is so popular.
It went off, yeah.
See the messages that I get about that. So I get people sending me dance routines. I get kids. I get parents.
You almost got him doing one.
It's unbelievable.
You should get them up, because even the sound bits minutes of them on TikTok, it could blow up on that.
Yeah.
Sort of a dance craze.
People love that.
You have a full music video. I didn't reckon. I didn't
Look,
realize
the
you
days
were
are getting
all the.
excited for you now. We're like,
Yeah.
okay.
No.
Well, that's the
I didn't realize you were playing all them characters until halfway through. I was like, oh, no, that's her. I was like, that's her.
So I recorded that to play it at my opera house show. And I actually recorded it on the street. That's it. And the people at Spaghetti Arms were really nice because they weren't open yet. And my girlfriend went up to them and was like, any chance you would make her a burger for this music video? And they're like, no bother, that's grand. I was like, you're great.
Shout out to Leanna Michelle.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was
Friends of the
delicious. And I got to eat loads of it for every time they shot. They were like, we're going to have to do that again. I was like, oh no. So it was really, really good. And what were we talking about there before?
So you hadn't recorded it live, and you were.
Oh yes, so I was recording it for Aesthetism there. I was recording it for the Opera House, and I was going to get my friends to play the characters, and then I thought, you know what, it'll be funny if I do it, because I feel that if I wear wigs and dress, I feel like I'm in drag.
Oh, 100.
Because I don't wear dresses, I don't wear anything feminine ever. Like, I feel really masculine. So I was like, this is going to be really funny. And see, when I played at the Opera House, loads of people didn't realise the girls were me.
I did. It was the wigs
It was
threw
the
me
one-
off.
The one you were putting the tan on, I was like, oh my god, she's all of these. I was like, so I had to go back and look. But it was, what I loved about it was, I was like, I know every single girl that you did.
Yes.
Me
We
too.
all
You
have that
them all
friendship.
I was
covered.
choosing
The
for girls
chaos.
out of my friendship
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
And it was, oh my god, it was such good crack. And
There
it
was
so
something very French and Saunders about it too.
Yeah.
Like, you
that's
know,
what I
where
liked, yeah.
They become the characters, no matter what they look like. They become
Yeah.
the full embodiment.
Yeah.
That
At
was
least
such
you
good
know,
crack.
if you ever do drag race, you have versatility. You know what I mean?
That's-
You have plenty of
everything.
looks.
That's true. I loved it. And people were so good about being in the video. Like, I was like, oh, I need a baby for this video. And someone was like, I get you a baby. And like, here's a baby. And I was like, I need a taxi. Someone was like, I'll be and I was the taxi man in the video too. And like, see when
I need to go back and watch it again.
Oh
How
my
have I not
god, I
practiced?
thought I looked so handsome. So I was the taxi man, and I see when I rolled up in the taxi, the Opera House went mental because they found it hilarious that I was the taxi man. And even there's a scene in a nightclub. We filmed that in the Limelight, and I just said, like, on like, must have been in my story, anybody wants to turn up to be in this video. See the amount of girls turned up, learned this dance that I'd sent them the night before, and were people I didn't know, and were class, and like they just did such a good job. So I was so
Brilliant.
appreciative. Because I would never go to something like that. I'd be too shy. So, which is ironic because obviously I was doing the video, but I'm nearly in character when I'm. It's maybe like when you're in drag, like you're a different
You
character.
detach yourself.
Like I'm not myself. Whereas if I was at a comedy show and a comic picked me, I think I would die. I would die. So recording that video was such good crack.
Yeah.
I love doing that kind
Are
of thing.
you a one-man band or
Yeah.
one-woman band? Sorry, there's
Yeah.
me jumping into my system.
There's the
Systemic
misogyny.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A
Don't
one
cancel
poison
me,
band?
please. Are you a one-woman band?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In terms of-
everything, every
everything?
producer, and you like that whole.
I took
Mu-
that so literally. I was like, "Do you mean do I write the theme song, play the theme?" Yeah.
No, I do mean everything. I mean, like you're writing everything, you're recording it all yourself, you're
Yeah.
directing it all yourself. You're.
Oh yeah.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Everything. The only thing to date that I haven't done is be behind the camera when recording the likes of the Girls' Night video. Of videographer to do that. But yeah, I do everything. Even whenever whenever I do backing tracks live at the shows and stuff, like I record those and mix them and all that kind of thing. And I would record videos myself and stuff like this. And I've got. I'm filming a podcast. I have a podcast at the minute, but I'm filming one on my own to go out this week actually. And like I've set up a studio by myself. Same as you guys set up the cameras and the mics, and I do all that and the editing and everything. And
What's it called? Plug it.
it's not out yet, but it's going to be called Class or Pass, and it's
Love it.
about different topics every week. And is this class or will you give it a pass? And there's kind of
Love it.
nothing's really off limits, and it's a bit of crack and
Yeah.
a bit of a chance to have conversations about
Yeah.
mostly a bit of crack, but some serious stuff too. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so
And you're
that
doing
should be
that
good.
as well as bitch and a bitch.
No,
Yeah,
bitch
Bimbo and Butch,
and
but
bimbo.
Bitch and a bitch, probably.
Bitch and
I'm going to
bitch.
workshop that name. Jenna, so she feels about that.
Sorry, Jenna.
It's Bimbo and Butch, so it's
Oh my god. You were just cocked what I said.
You were close enough.
Sorry, not intentional.
So it comes out every week. It comes out on a Monday. And it's such good crack. So it's me and Jenna. Jenna's my total opposite. Jenna's tall, blonde, straight, very feminine,
Gorgeous, yeah.
very. What do you mean gorgeous? Me, the opposite. Me.
Wow.
Just put him in the
Burn
bin.
it.
Oh, so gorgeous.
You called Jenna a bitch, and now you're saying that.
I'm trying to redeem
Put your
myself.
shovel away.
He's so fickle. He's so hot and cold.
Take a day off.
And then obviously I'm the bitch in it. You know, I'm more masculine, more deadpan, dry, and all that kind of stuff. And the crack that we have together, and Jenna, like the things I have to explain to her in the podcast, and the stories like we both tell, and we just have such a good laugh. And we're on about episode 20 now, and we've got a really good following with it and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
it's
it's
just
amazing.
it's just
Yeah.
brilliant.
It's doing amazing.
And the
No-
social bits that you put on social are
We
hilarious.
love recording. It's such good crack.
Yeah.
It's probably like you turning up here.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
enjoyable.
Just
Like it's
hanging out.
it's good
It's like
crack.
a catch up with friends. For
Yeah.
us,
It's a
too.
bit of
Yeah.
crack.
And
Yeah.
it's our
And
normal
any of the
conversation.
feedback has been that been like like some people sit on a Saturday night and watch it, feel like I think I'm just having a drink with you. It's like they just love it. I think it's
Well,
great
I was
crack.
sitting thinking whenever you were doing the intros and I was standing here and you were just all talking amongst each other, you know, about the TV show and about the Traitors and all. I was like, I could just imagine all the gays sitting at home watching this, just thinking this is brilliant. Because you do feel like you're in the bar having a drink.
Yeah.
It is class. It's a great
That's
podcast.
that's what
Like.
it's for.
Thank you so
We've
much.
actually had to learn how to listen to each other
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, we're actually having an engaging conversation.
Before
the
They've
this,
been like, I don't want to talk for the rest of the night.
before this, like, stop talking over each other.
Yeah.
Remember, don't
I
talk
know.
over each
Keep warning
other.
each other.
You know,
So
Very
yes,
good.
there was the video went well, Grand Opera House. So you're just on this amazing trajectory. So what's been your best gig so far? And then I want to know your 5-year plan. What is
Ooh.
out there? What do you want to do? Something you
So
haven't done
serious.
yet. What's your
My best gig so far, I'm going to say, I always have a ball in Bangor. It's one of my favourite places in the
Uh-huh.
world to play. The Bangor
Ooh.
audience is fantastic.
right?
Um,
Why? Interesting.
I don't know.
There's
they
loads of
just-
I
lesbians
have
out there.
heard that too.
Well, there are.
There is loads of lesbians out there.
How do you know this?
By the
There
sea.
is.
Is there a large
There's
lesbian
lesbians
demographic
love
in
the
Bangor?
sea. All the lesbians out paddleboarding.
All the water sports.
Lesbians love water sports so much. So it is great, but I don't know. The audience just seems to really suit me.
Okay.
It seems to be an audience who just really get my humor, and
Yeah.
they really get. I'd be quite self-deprecating, and kind of my stuff would be very quick and witty, and they just keep up so well. There's some places I do gigs and I tell a joke and I'm 3 jokes away and they're laughing at the joke. Whereas
they're catching up.
Bangor's like quick. They're just
Right,
brilliant.
okay.
I love them. So I'd say Bangor generally as a whole, love Bangor, but otherwise my Opera House gig that I had there is
Yeah.
the best
Yeah.
gig so far.
That's-
Because
yeah.
obviously you do gigs, you're parts of lineups, but when people come to see you and they've spent money to see you and you know you're going to do the best show that you can for those people and they really get your sense of humour, it's just lovely. And I would also have a lot of people who would come to the shows and follow me because they might be autistic or have autistic kids and things, and I would talk about that in the shows and that means something to them.
Yeah.
Like I did
course,
a parody of Chapel Rowan's Pink Pony Club at my Opera House show, and I played it on the grand piano and I sang it and I called it Autism Club, and it was about, you know, how you might not feel like you fit in but you'll find
Yeah.
your people and who cares people think and all that. And I have hundreds of messages from people
Yeah.
asking me, can you put that on social media so I can show my
Chapel
child?
would
So
love that. Chapel would go
Yeah.
off for that. She would love
absolutely.
that.
So that would be my favourite gig so far. And I enjoy every gig. I've never had a bad gig. I've never had a gig where I've had bad feedback,
Love
bad
it.
audience. I love it. And then 5-year plan.
Maybe
do-
5-year plan's a bit much for you.
I know,
A
I'm all-
year, maybe a year.
Well, think about like you say you struggle with organisation. I'm probably the complete opposite.
You
in
super
that
organised?
I have a list for a list. I'm
I always feel
in-
like gay
you
guys
know,
are very organised.
I'm
My
I'm
brother,
not.
who is
I
the
am not.
homosexual, is
homosexual.
he's probably known from being out and about here, but he
Julie probably knows him.
he
What's his
prob-
name?
It's called Sean
Sean.
Maguire.
Sean Maguire.
Very
He was in
tall.
it. There was a Sean Maguire in EastEnders. Wasn't
Tall
him?
and handsome. No, it wasn't him.
Does he have
Looks-
dark hair?
No, he's
Maguire,
got
Sean
his
Maguire.
hair very like me. He's actually has quite fair hair.
He's really tall.
He's tall.
I think he's working here.
Oh my god, he did.
I worked for them in here years
That's
ago.
my wee
Have I told-
brother.
Yes,
Gay.
He's
Do
your wee
I
brother.
know?
Get
Aye.
away.
So we've bought 2 houses next door to each other.
Is he? And he's
we're
really good
very
friends with
close.
Harry.
Harry's his
Harry
best
Matthews.
friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do
that's
I
a
know?
big, small world. You might know his face. He worked here about 10 years ago, I want to say, when I worked in the bar too.
Yeah,
worked
like
here
he was,
too.
he was at uni.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to still picture his face.
You
but
would know him
I know
100%,
the
you would know
name
him.
as well.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
I
But that
just
just
saw
clicked
him.
in my
We
head.
are really
Small
setting up the
world.
audience for, do you know when someone comes up to you, every gay person, like, do you know Harry? And you're like, Who? He's gay. Harry, of course you know who he is.
Of course you know. And it
Girl,
works.
that
It
literally
works.
just
Doesn't
worked.
take long to get there.
That's something.
Yeah, no, you would definitely. Yes.
Yes,
Oh, let
I
me see.
love Sean.
That's me and Sean.
Oh, he's always on
We're
his
very
travels and
close.
all.
Yes. Oh, you didn't say.
And so he's your.
I knew
Is
your
he your
name.
younger brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's him there.
Love Sean. That's
Yes.
him.
Right. Yes.
He's a wee poser. You probably know. There's
Ah.
a wee
Yeah.
poser. He loves himself.
He's a
Oh,
handsome
he's a great
boy.
guy.
There you
Oh,
go,
he is a
Sean.
handsome. He is a handsome boy. He's great.
Lovely.
And you have a wee gay commune. You were
Yeah.
saying?
So we
I
bought
think
two
I went to my gym
houses.
for a while too. No, as well. That
Where did you go?
movement.
Oh,
That's
yeah, he
him.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
That's where I'm like, now all the dots are connected. I'm
Yeah,
catching up.
he did go to movement. So me and him bought two houses next door to each other, and which is so kind of incesty.
Oh, I love
Have
that.
you-
I
have-
love that. Like, it's so cute.
It's
Have
so
you-
culty.
I love that.
And
Do
our
you know
t-
what? I think when they have, I'm close to my siblings, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
to
our
me.
straight brother and sister who live down in Strabane,
I love
like-
how you talk about them like they're the other siblings.
Gross one.
the other
Like,
side of the wall.
there's four of us, and like two of us are gay, and my mum is a religion teacher, my dad's a funeral director. They were like, but now
Right.
Get the holy water.
they love us all now. But my two straight siblings live on the same street down home, and then we live next door to each other, so we're all close and we get on well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a little gay commune, and then he got a roommate, a girl, and then a few months ago I started going out with her, so now it's an even more gay commune.
That is the best housewarming gift a gay
Love
brothers
that.
ever brought us with.
I know.
And if you
I
ever
was like-
argue, you can just send her next door. Go back
I
to your
know.
room next
I
door.
was like, fantastic. And I used to live with him in that house before my house was ready. So she now lives in the room that I lived in. It's all so weird. So yeah, I'm trying to think career wise, I've started doing some writing and stuff for TV. I got commissioned to do a sitcom script for Channel 4.
Amazing.
So, yeah, so it's written by
Wow.
me and I'm the main character in it. So
Okay.
it's kind of about my life, what it's
Yeah.
like.
Are you doing like the 4 shorts thing then? The
No, so it's a
No.
full pilot
thing?
script, yeah. So big
Unreal.
commission for that. So they put out a brief saying they were looking for the next Dairy Girls, whatever, and then
Yeah.
they commissioned it off the back of that. So I was like,
well, girl, the way
I'm
everything
buzzing.
else has gone for you,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're.
so
that's green letter.
that's
alert.
kinda
Congratulations on
amazing.
that.
Thank
That is
you.
amazing
and
news.
and so it's me and Dougal's also going to be in it. Jokes.
You're
I'm
selling
trying to
even
get the
more than me.
representation out there for the
Yes.
assistance dog, because it's very uncommon in Northern Ireland to have an assistance dog for autism at the minute. So trying to get, so he's actually going to be cast
Oh,
in it
that's
as well, which
amazing.
is hilarious.
Make sure he gets
So-
a
There's
big
gonna be a
fee.
voiceover for his face. I
Well, there
would
might
squ-
be. I'm pushing
need
for
to hear
that.
internal
I need to hear his
monologue.
voice.
So,
Dougal's internal monologue.
Yeah,
Love it.
starting to do kind of, that's probably the plan now, is starting to do kind of TV stuff
That's
like that.
amazing.
So writing
Amazing.
that and
Amazing.
writing a few other things as well. So, and I've been I got commissioned there with Radio 4 to do a half-hour stand-up special. So it's going to be recorded in the Mac with a live audience. So
Wow.
which is great. It's quite a
Fantastic, yeah.
comedy-wise. That's quite a big deal. So
That's
I'm
insane.
excited about
That's
that.
that's national radio.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
It's quite a
You are
big
going.
deal.
Yeah.
Even my dad said about that one. Very good. So,
Oh, that's,
Yeah.
he actually
So-
give you some recognition.
yeah, actually, yeah. So there's good stuff coming up. So hopefully, yeah, more TV things are coming along the line. So that's good. 'Cause
Time's
That's where I want to
exciting.
go.
Yeah. And what is
Oh,
your
yeah.
socials before we wrap up?
Yeah. So Instagram and TikTok, Emer Maguire official.
Yeah.
And Emer's EMER. It really confuses people. I see you have it spelled correctly in your board. I'm so
Oh.
impressed.
I
So
kept
impressed.
spelling it the
Yeah.
Irish way,
couple of different
and
ways.
There's a
I
couple
was
eyes
really
on,
throwing
There's a
myself
couple of different
off.
ways. There's the wrong way
Yeah.
and there's my way. So it's, EMER.
I've Protestant dyslexia, so I probably would have put a J and a V and an H.
Yeah.
You probably would have.
Best.
Well,
And
isn't
a- and
Emer,
a
Emer's
four.
the original Queen of Ireland, isn't she? Emer was the first name or something, isn't that where
It
comes
might have
from?
been, but I never
Think
heard
so.
that. But I've actually heard, which is so the opposite of me. I've heard it was Finn McCool's wife, and I've also heard
Maybe
that
that's
it
what it
was meant the 7 gifts of womanhood. I do not have
Oh,
any of
wow.
those. It was like needlework and cooking and all. I was like, no. So I don't know, and I don't know where. It was such an unusual name for my parents to choose, especially spelled DMER. Like my
Yeah.
sister is, I've a Catherine and a Connor and a Sean.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know where they got my name from. They
It's
must
pretty.
have
It's quite a pretty
took a
name.
notion. Thank you. I like it.
You
Yeah,
rock
it's
it.
fab.
I do like
You
it.
rock
Thank
it.
you.
Well, thank you very much for coming on.
We
Uh,
Thank
really
you for having
appreciate
me.
it.
Yeah, it's been great.
You
Great
are,
chat.
I think we probably could have had 3 or 4
I know.
episodes with you.
I
And
know.
Every time you were
just
talking, I
kept
was just
telling us the
open
information.
mouth, just staring. Even like, how have you achieved all this in your life? It's amazing.
Oh,
Really
thank
excited
you
to see
so
what
much,
else you've
and
got.
thanks for having me. This was lovely.
No worries.
Such good
so much.
crack.
Hopefully we'll have you again. Thank
Yes.
you so much.
Absolutely. And I'll bring Dougal next time.
You
Come
bet.
back when
I'm
you've won your
holding you to
BAFTA for your TV show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you,
When he's won it.
it. Oh, yes.
For doing nothing.
You're probably in Crufts or something. For
Uh,
Thank you so much.
Thank
Love
you.
it.
Thanks, boys.
Boots, we're all fruit on Tootsie Trade.